Good evening to the world on what is the biggest night in in the current calendar of Super League and fantasy football and nostalgic football. It has been 10 days, and needless to say, I've been keeping an eye on what's going on, and there are a few nerves out there. So in 10 days, 4 of the 6 have got queues. The 5th has all but got the queue. And then there are 4 teams and 4 managers battling it out for that one final position. And some managers have taken it upon themselves to treat it as seriously as you'd expect. Others are supposedly looking towards next season. There's been accusations of doing mates favours before a ball's even been kicked. And one manager didn't even submit at all. That's how seriously game week 26 has been taken. But I've been planning all day for this. And my co-commentator has been there for the ride all day as well. As we met up this morning for breakfast, we then enjoyed a movie before he went and got himself zen for tonight. Good evening, Mr. Smuts.
Evening. I have a cold pack awaiting my testicles.
The bionic ball bag.
10 days ago, my testicles were intact. And now, not so much. I am half the man I was. I am ready to go. I don't need testosterone to get myself a queue. I do need a lot of fucking luck.
You certainly
Cheers.
do. Yes, Duggan, season 15 eventually made it to game week 26. As always, we are live. We highly recommend any viewers head over, if you're not already doing so, to our home on YouTube. It's the best place for all your CMSL content. We are also live at the moment on the CMSL X page and also my personal X page. If you are able to, let's do the official bit that I always forget to do. I forget to do it on Fools as well. If you can like the page,
like and subscribe,
do all that nonsense.
Hit the bell.
Exactly, and hit that bell. Shut up. That way, when the reins are officially handed over, you will not miss a second of what's going on after I have gone. Absolutely ridiculous. Find their players. Not submitting is a joke. I would say so too. I just hope that the reason that it's happened is not too serious.
Because he's dead. Fingers crossed. It's because he's dead. It's the only reason for not submitting.
If you don't with the team I've got out, you may as well knock it out, idiots. Welcome to the club, Smuts. And there's Dimble as well. And Duggan says, impressed by Smuts' gradual move towards an adult haircut as the season has gone on.
This is the Sue Perkins. This one.
Obviously, I've treated this seriously. There's been promo stuff go out in the last hour as well, just to get everyone excited before we went live. Before we bring all the proper stuff up on the screen, how are you feeling about tonight? I know you came on and you said that you're going to need a lot of luck, but obviously you need to get the job done first and foremost, and then have luck on your side afterwards. But how confident are you feeling?
I mean, I'm not too fussed about beating a team that hasn't submitted. 4-4-2, greyed out players. The only way that should be handled, if I'm honest. I am a little worried that the two of the three dragon heads have put their heads together and come up with Stuart Ripley playing somehow. Believe it or not. That's a Ripley's believe it or not joke, that one, Fyfie.
Yes, I got that.
Yep, just making sure. I don't want anybody to miss some of these top class puns that I'm putting out into the world. Well,
if we can't have a top class pundit, we might as well have top class puns.
Yes, come on, Super League, baby.
Who didn't submit? Name and shame. There's been no.
It was Campbell. It was Campbell.
No Haggis submission for the final week. He's obviously quite content with an as is, which means there's some what I would class as key players missing for him in this crucial game. But that's up to him, and we just hope that he's okay. And the reason he hasn't submitted, as I said, isn't too serious.
Unless he's dead.
Well, no, we hope that isn't the case. We hope he isn't dead. That would be a horrible thing to say.
Depends if he gets the queue and I don't.
Right. I did post out earlier a running order, Ghost Games permitting. Let's just remind ourselves of where we are. So when we were last together, as in me and all of you, hopefully all is well. Yes, I do. It's not like him to not submit. I agree, Tater. So last time out, Badgers beat Stackington to end their playoff hopes. Haggis did lose to Dudley Hill, and they will go with that same team again. Fossrow drew with Sancte to leave them both in awkward positions tonight, although one has ended up in a slightly less awkward position, that's for sure. Fulchester, they lost to East Coast, who secured their queue. Stanley picked up a big win, a morale-boosting win, and also a potential championship motivating win away at Northern Burn. Sloths lost to Exiles, who remained in the hunt for a top 6 spot themselves, and Vikings beat LSK. That left the table looking like this. So as we say, Vikings, Badgers, Stanley and Coast all have got their queues already. Vikings and Badgers play tonight for the battle to finish top. Believe it's Stuart Ripley, says Jamie. And yes, to be fair, if I remember right, there's loads of fun things to do in Edinburgh, including if I've understood the viral clip today, being smashed in the head by your own teammate's free kick, which I've seen going around as a Hibs player smashed the ball at his teammate and knocked him clean out on the pitch. Northern Burn are 5th. They don't have a queue yet, but they essentially do because they're 3 points clear and have a solid goal difference from Sancte and Haggis. So it's basically between Haggis, Sancte, Foss and Dudley as to who claims 6th. And that is why those teams are on at the end of the evening.
Technically Exiles as well, but...
Exiles as well, yeah.
It's like a miracle.
I knew that was 5 teams when I did the description. I don't know how I missed Exiles off being my former team. And we've also got the battle at the bottom to finish as well. LSK and Fulchester level on points, separated purely by goal difference. So we are starting, as I consult my list.
Stanley against
with
Sloths.
Stanley against Sloths. The first 2 games pretty much have nothing riding on them at all. So let's go to Mr. Savage's team. He has opted to make some alterations. He is wary of Alf's Narrow. He is without Salihamidzic, Phil Neville, and Neil Scally. So he has adopted the Red Rose Classic, and he's gone 3 at the back, which is virtually unheard of in the Super League these days. He's gone 3 DMs as well. Robbie Savage controlling the midfield, and he has also gone with that infamous idea of letting Mido start to play as the playoffs arrive, because that is when he comes to life. Nice to see Robbie back in there, says Alex. Of course, I don't think I mentioned it because I was too busy doing the like and subscribe stuff. Live chat is available on YouTube and on X. So if you are watching, let us know. If you're a first-time watcher as well, let us know you're there so we can say hi. We'd love to get as many people involved as possible. Smuts, what are you thinking of the Red Rose Classic?
It's another team that's not taken it seriously, isn't it? Ridiculous. How dare they play 3 at the back in the Super League?
Good job. His game has nothing riding on it.
Exactly. No, it's not the. I want him to be playing the donut by the end of this game. Otherwise, Mike Savage is a bolt job.
Okay. As for their opponents, it was an as-is submission by Alf, mainly because he says that he's still suffering with flu, so he hasn't got it in him to pick a team. So I hope you're feeling better, Alf. Jens says, "How is that team third?" Proper Ray Hargle job by Mike there. So yes, hope Alf's feeling better. But yeah, he was too ill to even consider picking a team, so he just wanted to keep it as was. So we've got a narrow against a narrow, but whose narrow did you like better?
I think the victory margin is probably going to be quite narrow as well.
Nice.
I'm sure I went 1-0 to someone. Every game's 1-0, isn't it? So
yeah, in the boring Super League.
That's why I'm top of the prediction league. Every single game is 1-0.
Let's kick the first game off then and see if you get your 1-0. As Mike sends a nice good luck, Alf. Get well soon. Sloths went on that mental run earlier in the season, of course, where it looked like they might make the playoffs. It wasn't to be the case, but they have scored first. Smith opening the scoring for the away team as they look to end their season on a high. 4 minutes being added on at the end of the half.
I mean, you may as well call it now. It's 1-0.
And there's the half-time whistle. Sloths have produced them more, but both sides fairly wasteful in front of goal. I mean, the only shot on target from the away team has gone in. Only 50% of the attempts by the home side have been on target.
Says you need Peter Schmeichel on the pitch immediately.
Ratings for Stanley, average, nothing to write home about at all there. No
all at 6s
issues.
and 7s.
No conditional issues. Going over to the away side, Adilson is in the book. They've got a couple of 8s within their team. Ronnie Johnson continues. Contender for player of the season for you?
What, Ronnie Johnson?
Yeah.
No, close. He's not been the best DM in the season. We know that that's Diego Simeone.
Well, indeed. Jens wants to know, did you catch any Shadow Mewtwo's this weekend?
Didn't know that was an option. No.
Got to keep your finger on the pulse.
Just go as is, Mike. It's 1-0. The game's over. Or do the donut. One or the other. It's the only options. Stop taking this seriously.
Mike's asking if passing on direct, you or him, because obviously you will know what yours is on, and I'm not going to tell you. I'm not going to tell you what they're doing. He expected a different game. Rob wants to know, how's your balls?
I've been telling you all weekend, Rob. They are very, very poorly.
No Alf in the chat, so Mike going as is.
Well, Rob's here. Let Rob do it.
No.
He's literally got Slots' fucking name.
don't care. He walked away. He can't just walk back in.
Yeah.
Rob wants to see your balls. Can you send him a picture, please?
There's not enough zoom on the fucking screen, mate. He won't be able to, even as swollen as they are.
Maxim Sigalko gets his 15 for the season to level things up.
Like I said, 1-0. Game's over.
And
David's on a 9.
soon shot up, didn't it?
Yeah, Wes Brown doing well. Season 2 player is Wes Brown.
Jens saying, can't go narrow against Alf, the master of narrows, and expect anything else, Mike. Well, he has pulled it back to 1 apiece. Medina is in the book. Conditional-wise, nothing too much to worry about there. Did you get my message, Fyfie? It depends. The last message I got from you is, can I send your pack to Facebook? Which I did, and then didn't hear from you.
Oh, he's not dead then.
He's certainly not dead, no. For the benefit of Alf, when he watches this back...
Just pick it on stream, Campbell, if you want.
That is what's going on at this point for your team. Mike says the narrow is a tribute to Alf and nothing more.
Still nothing. There we go.
Play.
Said play on Fyfie. I missed that one as well. Just play
yeah.
on, I think.
No, there it is. It was under Alex's. I was looking at my phone for messages. Alex wants to know, are you more of a man for having the snip or keeping the juices flowing?
You see, well, I've had to, for medical reasons. My testicles were just too full of testosterone. I'm just too manly. So yeah, it was just too many pheromones, mate. I'm just getting bitches pregnant left and right. And I apologise immediately. As soon as I said the word bitches, it felt really wrong coming out of my mouth.
Sand has scored. Baronio's picked up an injury.
Good player, Baronio. I like him.
We'll just do that. As Alf's not here.
Yeah.
So yes, Stanley do now have the lead. And look to be playing into some fine form going into their playoff campaign.
One of the ones to watch, Stanley. I think they could.
And then João Pinto has been disallowed.
Could go quite deep into the competition. I don't think they'll win it just because of how good the top two have been all season. But they've got what is it? Not the grand final, the major final, is it? They've got major final vibes.
Okay. Big win for Stanley, though, to build that confidence in ahead of the playoffs campaign. Ekiog picks up man of the match, and maybe 3 at the back is something to be considered.
No, it's not. No, not even slightly.
Okay.
It will be a one and done for Stanley. Robbie Savage did well, though.
He always does well.
He does.
Let's move on to game number 2, which is scheduled to be Stackington. You can see it on your headstone, Smuts, slaying bitches since 2001.
That was up in 14, so
that's about right, yeah.
I hadn't even seen a booby at 14, mate.
Stackington versus Burn. And Ian hasn't gone as is.
Big changes. I saw that.
He's had to make some, but he's decided to make others. Whether that's to rest players and avoid suspensions and stuff.
Definitely will be. Although still having Roy Keane on the pitch is trying to avoid suspensions is a horrific idea.
But it is a mix up. Palermo plays as the lone striker. We've got Junior and Raymer as the wing backs. Keane moves slightly further forward to where he traditionally plays, with Drozdov coming in. On paper, it doesn't look as strong, but it does still feel very Burn-esque because the players that have been brought in, it's not like he's he's throwing in the reserves, is it? It's the players that generally deputise.
Yeah, exactly. It's still the same burn tactic. It's not like it's going to be 3 at the back or anything silly. Yeah, this will be absolutely fine. This is the kind of game to play these sorts of deputy players, isn't it?
Yeah.
Keep the squad sort of churning over. It's a good idea.
Stackington have made big changes. They're one of the teams obviously looking ahead to next season for tonight. Andrews comes in. He's not a regular centre back for Stackington. Koku, Romoshenko, Emerson, and Osho are all in that DM line. It instantly goes back to how it felt about 10 game weeks ago, where I said it was one of the worst lines I'd seen. And that's not bad, because I actually like Koku as well. Mendieta keeps his place. Klimovic comes in as well, despite requesting to leave. And Defoe and Zane play up front.
Yeah, again, there's nothing riding on this game, so you may as well get some of the players involved. Yeah, it's some new names. Andre Dovnar is probably a remnant from the previous Mr. Mega Horse, presumably. Did he play in that first season? In fact, I think he played in that first game against me. No, he didn't.
Right.
I'm talking shit. Where Dan got torn apart. No, yeah, I mean, there's some fun new players. Marvin Andrews getting a run out is always fun. Be interesting to see if Francis of Assisi Lampard gets a run out at some point as well.
A score prediction for game number 2?
1-0 Burn.
Okay, lovely. It's very Burn dominated, the text in the opening 5 minutes. Palermo getting involved, Keane being busy. But it's a first goal for Jermaine Defoe to give the home side the lead. And he nearly doubles it in double quick time as well. And that goal seems to have inspired the home side. They're flooding forward now. They almost need to be careful not to be caught out themselves. But at half-time, once again, it's 1-0. And not the way you were expecting.
Exactly as I said, 1-0 Stackington. This will be how the game finishes as well. As I said, always 1-0.
Looking at the home side's ratings first, a whole host of 7s. Hippier, Mendieta, Klimovic, the only players below 7. They all rate 6s. Defoe, the goal scorer, on an 8. Without even seeing it, Ian's content enough to go as is.
He could have given that ahead of the kickoff. That's why Ross's tactic file is even called as is, please.
And there you go. He's even going as is as well. So no need to delay.
Mourinho not playing very well.
Zane assist, says Steve. And a rare, did I spot? Yes, 5, as you say, for Mourinho. So let's resume the action, see what the second half offers in this game. Things get a little bit more important after this one. As we reach the hour mark. Stackington have an attacking free kick. They still hold a 1-goal lead as well. Are you impressed by... no, let's just say you're impressed by Stackington. Overall, how would you reflect on their first season as a team in terms of with it being Ross's first season?
Yeah, really successful. He had a huge undertaking initially to mould the team in his own image. As I've said multiple times, it was a really, really mega horse heavy team.
Yeah,
loads of players that nobody else would really play apart from Dan. So he's had a huge job scything away a lot of the players that he will have no faith in. The rest of the job he's had to do is basically to learn to have faith in some of these players, and then he's had to really, I think, cash in the interim on your Mendietas and your Dyers, your 2 big name players,
yeah,
to really take the team onto the next level next season as well. So it'll be interesting to see how he goes.
Well, just the one change, and Lampard is on for the last half an hour. Mourinho's still on a 5 for Bern. Jostov, the only player in the book. No real worries from a conditional point of view. How hard does Ian push to win this one? Because you want to go into the playoffs in form. Ideally, he doesn't want to go and lose into Stackington, does he?
I think Ian's already given this season a swerve. I think the fact that he sold his entire first 11 shows that he is very much done with this season already. And I'd be very, very surprised if he's asked about the result of this, other than the fact that he's Ian and he wins every single game. Otherwise, it's the end of the world.
Okay. Very dramatic.
But it will be as is.
It will be as is. Any of looking at that subs bench, any of those you'd be particularly interested in seeing this evening?
Babel for Mourinho would be the only one. And
so we're doing
Keane's coming up as well.
Marcelino. Okay, yeah. 2 up top with Palermo on the left. So we're going like this.
So again, shows exactly how knowledgeable I am. Turam for Babel.
Indeed, he's obviously looking to. No, that's fine, Ian. No problem at all. He's obviously looking to rest a couple of his key players there. Okay, let's continue on. See what the last half an hour of game number 2 has to offer. Will Stackington double their lead and end the season on a high? Will Bern sort this out and not go into the playoffs on a defeat? 83 now on the clock. Bern looking to equalise. There's the final whistle. Stackington end on that high that we were talking about. It was a close game, but again, so many teams at the end of the season have been wasteful in front of goal. It's like watching Leicester City on a regular basis.
Fuck you.
Mate, I sat through the Bristol City game.
I slept through it.
Yeah, exactly.
And I'm glad
Whereas I slept through the Man City Arsenal game because that was one of the worst games of football I've ever seen.
Good performance from Jermaine Defoe. I expect to see him a lot more next season, unless he's already been sold.
We've got a well played and a good first season. The fact, when you consider how it started, you think back to the Iker Casillas regular red cards and stuff, and being marooned at the bottom of the table. The fact that they're not even in the conversation at the bottom of the table now says what a good first season it's been.
Haven't been for weeks. They were really in the ascendancy, very much like Sloss. They looked like they could
nick it.
really get into the playoff picture as well. Sort of tailed off a little bit towards the end of the season, but yeah, very, very good first season for us. Well done.
And here come the my Mrs. Slider's a Wickham season ticket holder. He loves Mehmeti. No, I understand.
Fuck you, Steve. Fuck you.
Right, game number 3, and I think we're going right to the top of the table, aren't we, for game 3? We are indeed. Vikings versus Badgers. Let's find Vikings on the list. So let's just remind ourselves of how this looks. There's a 3-point gap between first and second. +9 for Badgers, plus, well, I can't do that math, 17, is that?
Yeah, it's
so
like
Badgers need a massive win to come top, but that's not what they're playing for here.
So who's got
What's
the best
record for fewest? So Badgers have the record currently for fewest goals conceded. Is it like 18? I think for the season. Something stupid.
Literally
like this.
Nobody except for Tato gives a shit.
No, I'm sure it's something stupid like 18 or 19.
Even Swanee doesn't give a shit, and he does all the stats. Only Tato cares.
I'm sure Tato will remind me in the chat, but I believe that record is still there. Oh God, who have I just taken out by accident? Kaladza.
You've now only got 3 subs, so presumably Andre and.
Wait, hang on. What have I done there? I've clicked something. Right, that's what I did. So I clicked Ferdinand by accident, so that should be there. And that should be like that. 20 is the record. There we go. Interesting. So Jens has gone as is from his last game, which was the win. Now, he didn't have Andre available, which he now does. He's been his number... no, he hasn't. He hasn't been his number one. I was going to talk shit then. He was just had to be replaced. Kaladze back on the bench. Yeah, that's right. There we go. Ross is buzzing. Are you surprised that he's not maybe taking the option to... Given that the goal difference in that, it would take one hell of a collapse not to finish top. Are you surprised he's not maybe resting the likes of Henry?
No, because he's got less games than everybody else. He'll just
True.
play. Just he doesn't need to rest players. Just keep him playing, keep him match fit. Okay. Crack on.
Badgers, they have changed things. I'll check that in a minute for you, Jens, if I've not already done that. So we have a whole host of players being called up or involved that aren't normally. So we've got a whole new back line. 2 of the 3 defensive midfielders haven't been in the team recently. So Cmsl makes his first appearance of the season. Elber and Larson as the front 2 with Saviola in behind. What do you make of the Badgers team?
He's throwing it so he finishes second because everybody wins from second.
They certainly do. Right. Make him number 5. You're 37 this year, aren't you?
Am I?
You are.
Yes.
I'm sure there's 3 years between you and me. But you haven't had your birthday yet.
87. Yeah, will be. You stopped counting them. It's 35, I think.
Vikings want Cafu as captain. There we go. Nothing to do with finishing second, to be fair. He doesn't buy into that theory at all, apparently. So score prediction for the Vikings first team against the Badgers reserves?
4-0 Badgers.
4-0 Badgers. Let's see how this one goes. Can Badgers score the 4 to maintain their defensive record?
No.
Dubbin saying it's a dress rehearsal for the grand final here.
No, not
There's
really.
one.
It's not really a dress rehearsal unless the Badgers have undressed themselves. What's the Shakespearean character that's Bollico? Iago or something?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
That was me trying to be literary for 5 seconds there.
Cultural.
Being a bit of culture, but being a class to the proceedings.
So Badgers reserves have run riot in that first half and done everything but score more goals.
This game makes no fucking sense.
It's all about the tact files and not about the actual players.
Yeah.
Looking at the home team, everyone on a 6 or 7 with the exception of Balmer, who is on an 8. Emerson and Lasisi both on yellows, nobody below 91% condition. As for Badgers, everyone on a 7 or above with the exception of Zanoni and I'm going to butcher this, aren't I? Adamides?
Yeah, that one's quite easy. I thought you were going to try and say Swiatkowski. Yeah, Adamides.
No, I can say I actually feel more confident saying Swiatkowski.
Say it quite often, do we? Yeah, I expect to see Tijani Babangida at some point, and he loves Roberto Souza, so probably wait until 60 and then bring potentially all 3 of them. They're all Tato players, aren't they?
Jens is reacting though.
Yeah, that's not a surprise.
Kaladze for Jeremies, Nedved for Cafu. Swap Nedved and Sokoviak. Thanks. No problem. Let's go to 60. And we're nearly there already. We are there already. And still 1-0. Very little action in that second half. What have you made of it so far?
Boring.
Are we about to see Antonio Lopez enter the fray?
No, he wants Thierry Henry to keep scoring, doesn't he? So he'll leave him on. Being as is from Jens, and then Tato will dick about with his subs.
Well, let's have a look at the Badgers team then and see what we think might happen. Ratings-wise, still strong. Only Sononi below a 7. Not that condition matters to the Badgers team, because it's a myth, much like finishing second.
Or Diego Simeone.
But Jens is doing stuff. Emerson is coming off for Tomadera. 2 up top with Nedved central without an arrow.
With an arrow, yep. Yep, exactly the 3 I expected from Tato.
So we've got Sononi for Johnson, or Johansson, I should say, sorry. Larson for Souza. And Agahawa is the 3rd. Lovely. Let's finish this game. Can Badgers get those last 3 that they need?
1-0, same as every other game. Unless it's the Exiles, because that's 3-2 every week, isn't it?
Not anymore. But Brozek has leveled things up with his 5th of the season to make it 1 apiece.
Like I said, 1-0 every single game, apart from 2 of the 3 games so far tonight.
We're into injury time. And there it is. Congratulations to Vikings, who have now got the new record of 17 goals conceded in the 26 league.
Congratulations, Jens. In a season where there's been 78 0-0 draws, 400 1-0 wins, congratulations on only conceding 17 goals.
Paredes picked up the Man of the Match award in what was a closely contested fixture between the season's top 2.
Some would say the only 2 teams that have turned up all season.
Some might say that.
It'd be the Exiles, Fulchester, I'd imagine, next.
No. Why haven't I? Oh, I know why I haven't. It's because Exiles are playing Fulchester, which means I wanted them next to LSK as well. So we're doing Coast Dudley next.
Fair enough.
Which is the game we're actually on. So here's the story for Dudley. They are on 33 points. They know, regardless of anything else, they have to win to have any chance whatsoever.
They need to win by 3 goals more than me, and I need to beat Haggis. And Sancte need to lose for him to win. Yeah,
correct. So with that in mind, this is the team. Decor has come into central midfield for the suspended Van Bommel. There was someone. Rustico is coming for Woodgate. And I want to say Malevsky's coming for Sorochinsky. Yes. So we're sticking with Salas and Constantinou as the front 2 for this game.
Yeah, fair play. Comandini's been really good all season, so I'm surprised he's not come back in. But yeah, they're perfectly adequate front 2.
As for Coast, they have the luxury of, resting players where needed. Ronaldinho suspended, Viduka's still out. So there has been some changes. Vrede partners Uliano. Bishkan comes into midfield. That what is a Bergstrom carries on the left wing. And Shevchenko plays behind Hussein and Romeo.
Small horse legend, Christian Bergstrom. Yeah. He's one of our own. Yeah, I mean, how that team is in the top 4, it's unreal. But it just continues to show how little that we all know about the fucking game. That suddenly Sergei Kovalchuk is one of the fucking star players in the season. Again.
Dimble's setting off his own hashtag.
What is a Bergstrom?
Okay, so having seen both teams, can I ask you for a non-1-0 score prediction, please?
0-0 then.
0-0, lovely, thank you. Let's kick this one off. Toast at home to Dudley Hill. This one is all about the away team. They have to win. And then they've done all they can.
But they need to win minimum of 4-0.
Don't forget, though, if the other teams lose, that diminishes their goal difference as well.
Yeah, fair enough. But their goal difference only matters against me, and I've got a 3-goal swing on them.
Yeah, so if you lose... Oh, well, yeah, I suppose.
If I lose, Haggis win, yeah. The only way he gets into the top 6.
Oh, that's a scored. Oh, it's been ruled out. Oh, that would have made the second half very, very interesting. After Jens categorically stating earlier that Jeremies has been the best defensive midfielder, he's now said that there is a second one in the discussion too.
Mm-hmm. So that's what there's Simeone, Kowalczyk, and...
No, Jens isn't having Simeone nonsense.
Yeah, nobody is apart from Tato.
So 0-0 at half-time, very even game. We had the goal ruled out just before half-time. It was ruled out for linesman's flag. Rustico had barged Hussein in the back. Okay. Just what you want to see. Looking, again, no, yeah. Since the last build and then changing from the referees being strict to being very, very placid, there's not many even yellow cards to discuss anymore.
I think they're just normal. There's not normally that many yellows. They're just that one build. It went a bit the opposite direction. I don't think you're seeing Decor for much longer here. Sure.
The thing is Steve's bench strong enough? You know, against the team with the quality of Dimbles, is it strong enough to really force a result away from home?
We'll find out, won't we?
I mean, yes, I know you mentioned Comodini, who's got 6 goals this season, but Marquinhos, your other attacking option?
It's the AMC lottery winner this week. Yeah. Are you banging your leg on your
I am, yeah.
Yeah, stop that.
Sorry.
It's got to be Decor coming off here or getting swapped into a more defensive position, surely.
It is Decor coming off.
There you go. Yeah.
So that is what we shall do. As the main event, British heavyweight boxing fight is about to get underway. I can see the ring walks are starting.
Who's doing a box?
It's Clark and I can't remember the other one, but I'm sure. Is one not an Ipswich and one not a Norwich fan as well? I think they were both at a game this weekend.
Who cares? Can we just play out this 0-0 draw, please?
Yes. How was Butlins? It was decent, mate. I had a really nice time. I think Aidan had a nice time too.
Not enough MILFs, I heard.
Well, that's because we were having a conversation about something or other, and you told me to stop being nice. So I said, okay, let me try and say something horrible because I don't like to say nasty things. So I just turned around to you and said that they're either hiding from me or there's just not enough MILFs at Butlins.
The answer is both.
Yes, there weren't enough and they were hiding from me. So Coast on the hour, still 0-0. A couple of 6s. Bishkan in the book. Nothing really to worry about from a conditional perspective. Again,
has Shevchenko done anything all season?
Gosh, he's got 3 goals and 2 assists.
So no.
What I would say is, and I'm not sure how many others, he's played every game.
Yeah, done nothing every game, yet somehow it's done. He's got a 7.28. Mad.
It's a bit like the Totti factor at Bern, isn't it?
No, Totti at least gets plenty of assists.
Simovic is coming on for Shevchenko. Resting the main man now. He needs a rest from all his contributions.
He's probably got a bit of shoulder ache, really, haven't he? Been carrying the team.
Carrying the team.
Yeah.
What's everyone doing for the bank holiday, by the way? Most people, I presume, aren't going to be working tomorrow. What are people up to? I know that you're just applying ice packs.
Pretty much.
I am doing a watch along for the Swindon game against Sutton, the bottom of the table classic. We'll have the full game. The problem is, I'm not sure how many of the fulls are available. It's not been overly taken up, so it could just be like 4 hours of me talking to myself and hoping that people are on the internet watching.
Well, I've done 6 times that, mate, on 3 separate occasions. So.
Oh, yeah, but you've done it for a good cause, not just our Swindon non-league now. Nearly,
not yet, mate.
Not quite yet. We've just about starved off relegation this year, we hope. But then again, there's always... Oh, Wardley's the other boxer, by the way. There's always a threat that we've done something dodgy financially and there'll be a points deduction coming at some point. Steve is going for it. He knows he has to. So we've got Terry for Comandini.
I will point out that in exactly the same position last season, I got ridiculously ridiculed for doing exactly this. So shame on you, Stephen. Shame on you. How dare you try and win the game?
Will they be? What, non-league? Yes. I would advise everyone that unless anything substantial happens in the next 2 months, to lump everything you've got on us to get relegated next season, because we are a shit show of a club. I'd say this partly in jest and partly to deflect away, but we're very lucky that Grimsby have made Dimble's life hell this season, because Forest Green are going down. Sutton somehow have miraculously almost saved themselves. And Grimsby have turned into a fucking shit show of a club as well. So thankfully it deflected some attention away from us.
Do they have Ivano Benetti rundling round the Grimsby town stand with a bucket in his hand trying to get coppers in it?
I wouldn't know. I don't believe so. 76 on the clock. Still 0-0. 85 now. 5 minutes have been added on. No, Troy Deeney got sacked after 9 games in charge.
For not being a vegan?
Basically for being a prick. He, you might recall, because I know how close Leicester pay attention to successful Midlands-based teams like Coventry.
FA Cup semi-finalists, Coventry.
FA Cup semi-finalists. East Coast have scored, broken the hearts of Dudley Hill. And there's the full-time.
4 goals. They didn't score any goals.
So obviously the playoff final, they lost on penalties. The player that missed the crucial penalty for Coventry, Fankity Darbo, who is ex-Swindon, he unceremoniously got released for missing the penalty, and somehow, despite playing for a team that made it to the playoff final, ended up at Forest Green. He played a couple of games under Troy Deeney, who came out after 1 game and rinsed the shit out of him. I've never heard a manager criticise a player the way Troy Deeney did at Darbo. And next thing you know, Deeney got sacked.
Have East Coast just equalled Tato's 20 goals in a season defensive record as well?
Yeah, I think he has, because this got pointed out on the last stream about a week ago that 2 teams were going to take it.
Because every game is 0-0 or 1-0. It's fucking shit. Alex is saying once a prick, always a prick. I'm not having that, because for completely differing reasons, you're considering the same moment that I think is one of the funniest things I've ever seen happen on a football pitch, and that Deeney moment at Watford. Which will forever live long in the memory, not because it happened to Leicester, but because of the situation I was in at the time, where I was watching the game with my now ex-wife's Leicester supporting father, who came round my house and literally left
as soon as the goal was scored. Didn't say bye, didn't say thank you. And he hadn't even driven to my house. He got a lift from his son. He walked home. And the son just drove himself home.
It wasn't even the best that was done. That happened to Doncaster against Preston, I want to say.
The Doncaster one was against Brentford, I think.
Brentford, was it? There you go.
Yeah, chaos.
And that was both of them to get into the playoffs. So I had more on it, if anything.
Latest goal in Super League history, says Martin. I'll take your word on that one. Isn't it much, when these games are finishing 1-0, isn't it much more fun to talk about historic footballing moments? Like
It's
Troy
not
Deeney's
fun to talk about this fucking game. Can we get on to the next one, please? Can we just get my misery over, for fuck's sake?
No, because you're last.
Exactly. Just get it done. Let's get Stuart Ripley out the fucking way, so that one's done.
Right, so that means we're going to Fulchester next, doesn't it?
Yeah.
This is the last hurrah of the great Macca in the Super League.
Good to have him here as well.
Yeah. Can he avoid finishing bottom? Well, to do so, he's gone unchanged. He did amuse me the other day. He got his pack, and instead of discussing his final farewell or the team submission or anything at all related to the Super League, he decided to reply telling me that he'd cooked a massive beef, and I want to say he'd eaten something like 1 kilo of beef. I was like, good lad. Well, I was considering having a chip shop. But there is the final Macca submission in the Super League. Indeed, Jens, a legend leaving. It is a sad, sad day for all concerned. Steve suggesting his loss was undeserved.
You needed to win 4-0 and didn't score any goals, mate. Just leave it. Just leave it be.
They come up against an Exiles who are still in the conversation again. So the situation for them is, well, no, they can't. They can't make it.
Yeah.
Because if they win, they're on 35.
Yeah, and there needs to be a result between me and Haggis.
Yeah, one of you has to do something.
Yeah.
Doug is saying Richie Wellens in Macca's last ever 11 is a beautiful bit of poetry. So Exiles can't make it, is what we're saying.
Yeah.
But they have gone unchanged from their last game as well, which means they line up like this. And the ever-entertaining Exiles, who are going to be in the most goal contributions across the season, that was the promise at the start. Certainly hasn't been the case. They are on -1 goal difference as well.
53 goal contributions, and Vikings, who have conceded barely any all season, are on 49.
To be fair, they're not miles away
from the most goal contributions.
Just generally, yeah.
They're close.
Look at Dudley.
They're not miles away from East Coast, who are on 45.
He'll spend his free time on network games. Wish him luck.
Hope he gets used to losing to fucking cheating teams.
Score prediction, please.
0-0.
0-0. The two as Wardley and Clark have just started.
I said, 0-0.
The parading has stopped. Round 1 is underway. Vieri lands the first blow in round 1 of this game. Half an hour played, still 1-0. It's a shame that Macca's tenure has petered out the way it has, really. A legend of the league deserved better. And there's Crespo. No, it's been ruled out. It's for offside. And there is half time.
Is he in the top 2 or 3 of games of all time, I think?
Yeah, and is he...
Most games without a star?
I think he's second on the all-time games list behind Hodgie.
No, he can't be. He'd be nowhere near Ian, I'd imagine.
Oh, no, is it wins? Or points gained across the total? I can't remember. There was this thing where him and Hodgie were going for ages, like 1 for 1. Anyway, neither manager's here, I believe. So
neither manager's won anything, so let's crack on.
Win percentage, Duggan's confirming, is what they were at. Richie Wellens, in a poetic irony, is performing really badly on Macca's last game as well. Although that has took a battering in the last season and a half, says Duggan. Anelka, oh no, his has been ruled out as well. Again, no manager here. Tomasi performing well, as is Mild. Are you expecting more from Rox next season, now that he's had his first full year as a manager?
No, not really. He's going to keep playing one at the back, so it'll be exactly the same as next season. For win percentage, Macca was, after 8 seasons, at 63%. Dimble, after 6 seasons, is at 67%. So I don't know where this number's come from. About win percentage.
Okay. Thank you. Stat fans.
Yep.
There's really not much happening in this game at all.
Nope.
Every
single time.
But there's Crespo to make it 2-0.
We might now squeak over 8 goals for the fucking stream for the first time this season.
Every time you're on is boring as fuck.
This is the 3rd time I've been on stream this season, and it has been fucking dog shit every single time.
So Macca's tenure ends in defeat, and that now means. So what did we say the difference was?
It's finished last.
Well, no, because if Jamie gets battered,
what 15-0?
Yeah,
I think it'd be fine.
That can Mild with a 10 out of 10 performance. And just very, very average for Fulchester.
That is Exiles finishing above Dudley Hill, though.
Yes, it is. What do you think Dan will do with this Fulchester team? Do you think he will achieve better?
Yes, he's finished bottom. He can't do any worse.
Well, he could
get slightly fewer points.
He could actually, on the assumption that Jamie might lose, then, they've come joint bottom, effectively. He could just come bottom.
Yeah, he won't. They'll be in the playoffs next season because it's Dan. Okay,
and he'll take it a bit more seriously.
Yes.
That means we go to Sancte LSK next. LSK, who we know are pretty much not going to finish bottom now.
Now the important games are on. My ice pack is out, and I'm on to another cider.
So here is the Sancte team. Now, reminder of their situation. They currently sit 7th. They are only below the bottom line, the dotted line, on goal difference. Haggis play Foss Road in the main event. Now there's a challenge, indeed. So they know that they have to win a point, because a point won't be enough. Because if Haggis draw, then they'll still be above them in goal difference, and if Foss win, they will leapfrog them themselves. So
Sancte win.
Have to win.
They have to win, otherwise.
And here is the I Am the Resurrection formation.
Does he have the same views as the singer of the song I Am the Resurrection? Ian Brown, right wing.
Okay.
Yeah, it is not. It's not comfortable.
Alex, don't, because I spent time with him this morning and he was fucking waddling like a toddler. It took me so long to get him anywhere this morning. Did we? Yes, he did name the captain. Lovely. As for LSK, they have opted, somewhat controversially, I suppose you could say. Jamie has decided that he wants to take a view on next season. And therefore, despite so much riding on the outcome of this game, he is playing players who haven't really featured this season at all, other than maybe Bergkamp. I mean, Chadwick hasn't even got a squad number. If we just have a quick look, 0 appearances, 0 appearances, lots of reserve appearances, no appearances, no appearances, obviously no appearances, no appearances, no appearances, 9 starts for Lazans. Bergkamp's got 5, and then Carl Court, who has got 6 goals and 3 assists in the reserves this season. Yes, Tato, I believe you're quite right. Anyone has the right to play whoever they want. You can understand why some people might think, however, that he's done his mate a favour by, he could have picked these weeks ago, but opted to do it on a game where the result really mattered to other people.
No comment. No
Duncan
comment.
saying Bartes been honking for them, to be fair, hasn't he? Yes, he's been their best player this season. With an 804 rating.
I think he's the highest rated player in the entire league all season.
I believe that was correct. Yes, highest rated player in the league. Ian Brown would have been an excellent linesman, calling out all those illegal attacks. Going to be the biggest laugh ever when he does me 1-0 here, says Duggan. Chadwick can be number 50. So, you know the drill here.
We also know the result.
So, you need Sancte to not win, basically, don't you?
Yeah, but it's not going to happen. You've just seen the team that Jamie's
I
picked
have.
out for.
I won't ask. Actually, no, for Bads. Go on, what's your score prediction here?
3-0.
3-0 Sancte. Well, they've lasted 2 minutes so far.
Yeah, it's a record for Duggan.
Sancte started the brighter, and there's the first goal for Michael Owen on 17 minutes.
Former unicorn, of course it is.
Tato saying out could happen here. I picked a shite team and drew away to the league champs, Smuts, says Tato.
Yes, but you didn't pick David fucking Batty.
I'm presuming that's towards the team submission. Back has made it 2-0.
Mm-hmm.
You did predict 3-0. And there's the half-time whistle, and it has gone pretty much how you expected it to, mate.
Yep.
LSK haven't even laid a glove on their opponents. 1 attempt to Sancte's 10. They did have it on target, at least. 6 of the 10 on target. Steve suggesting Batty is class on the game, to be fair. Which suggests to me that Dudley have been trying to sign him all season to improve their defensive midfield line. Mm-hmm. Duggan going as is, no real surprise there. Everything going exactly how he needed it to.
Almost as if it was handed to him on a plate.
Dragons going into the playoffs on high morale. As for LSK, because I did see Jamie earlier, so I'm sure he's about. Salva on a 5. Novotny
He's
on a 5.
getting a really good look at all these players ready for next season.
Yeah, what he's decided is none of them are good enough looking at this.
It was a fucking surprise. It's almost as if we could have all told him that before kick-off.
Lazan's also on a 5. Everyone else on a 6. Del Piero, I suppose, gives an option off the bench, but there's not really much else there to inspire any great comeback for LSK here, is there?
Well, I mean, because Del Piero is the only option off the bench, he won't be playing at any point. unless he puts him in goal.
No, I don't allow shenanigans like that.
You've allowed this team selection, though, haven't you?
Well, I can't tell him he can't pick the team.
It doesn't seem like he has picked the team. It seems like Duggan has.
Maybe Jamie's disappeared because he's not put anything in the comments.
In pure shame at the fact that he's taken the league, bent over.
Right, we're going to carry on till 60. See what happens.
We know what's happened. It already happened.
It's already happened. So we've reached the hour mark. Nothing has changed in the scoreline. And it looks like it is a straight shootout between Sancte and Haggis for that final playoff spot. Petit in the book. No other issues.
It's going to be very funny when none of this matters in about 10 minutes' time.
And then for the benefits of Jamie, if he is still around in the background. Dimble saying that Campbell and Stam have been untroubled by court so far.
I think Jamie needs to be in court because this is a fucking robbery.
Haggis, who haven't picked a side. Correct. So we're going with the same team as last time out.
Still less of a piss take.
Steve saying that Alf loves court, to be fair.
Oh, is he on jury duty?
Can LSK force a late fight
No, they
back?
can't. No.
One goal would make it interesting.
No, it wouldn't.
And there's 3-0 Michael Owen with his 5th of the season.
Oh, it's almost as if I wrote it before the fucking game started. What a fucking shock.
And there's the full-time whistle. Sancte absolutely dismantle their opposition. Meaning...
Well done, Duggan. He's 13.
Oh, man. It is a shame it played out this way, actually, because it does mean that now our co-commentator doesn't even have the excitement of having anything riding on his game from his own perspective.
Nope, but I do have the opportunity to have a very big say in whether Haggis get into the playoffs or not.
And Alex just says, "Oh dear." Yes, I can see what's about to happen here.
Everybody can.
I'm not stupid. So this is the Phosro team that starts the game. I'm sure it's not how it's going to end the game.
Nope.
Vieira captures the side.
Nick Matulin looks like he needs a run up front. David James.
I told you it ain't happening.
Yeah, Vieira can go up front there. Who gives a
Vieira
fuck?
can. Alex and Emil Heskey will offer attacking intent off the bench. So Haggis, as I say, go as is from the last game, which they did lose to Dudley Hill, which means Veron starts on the bench. There's no place for Walter Samuel. Perez still unavailable. Lauren Robert not in the squad either. Let's go to our final game of the night. And I won't ask you for a score prediction, as is tradition.
I think it'd be
and I'm not even going to wish you good luck, because I know what you're going to do at half time, and it's just going to bring the whole game into further disrepute. But I can't stop.
I didn't bring the game into disrepute first. Let's just remember that.
Here we go. Let's see if Phosro go like 3-0 up at half time. Take one hell.
Can I please bring Stuart Ripley on in the first half?
No.
Is it
because you don't have Stuart Ripley?
Believe it or not.
No, it wasn't funny the first time.
Neither was the LSK lineup.
And Clive does score.
There's
it's 1-0. And they're looking for a second. The Phosro players are not giving up. Remember, technically, they don't know what's happened in the other game. And it's half time. And
as is.
You're going as is?
Just leave it.
Okay.
Just let Duggan get his way again.
Well, hang on. What we got going on here? I think Haggis brought in to disrepute 2 seasons ago with Michael Stewart and Kitchen Dan, in all honesty. There's not a chance Hopkins does that if Haggis hadn't fucked Dan. Viva Smuts, says Duggan. Jens says, well done, Smuts. Right, halftime. Let's do this properly. You're the first team to have proper percentage of attacks on target as well.
Yes, because I submitted a proper tactic and a proper team, and I actually tried.
Looking at the Haggis team, the goalkeeper's performing well. Everyone else kind of just floating about, not doing much. Jens saying, well done on the as is. It takes a real man. Here's your ratings if you do want to have a look at anything in particular.
As is.
Going as is till 60. And it's 1-1 Del Vecchio.
Got it.
Oh, no. Oh, hang on. Oh, it's 2-1. Van Nistelrooy has scored as we hit the hour. Jens says it took cojones to go as is. And Ross is saying that you've lost your balls. Cuenca has gone up to a 9 rating. All the ratings now 7 or higher for Haggis, as they are looking to get the job done on the night. As for yourself, you've got a real mixed bag here. You've got Gerard and Raquelme struggling in midfield on 6s, yet Kluivert still performing well on a 9. No discipline issues to worry about.
No, I've not got any playoffs to worry about either. So.
Haggis wins properly. Smuts wins twice. Well played, says Mike. So, half an hour to impact this game. What do you want to do?
Let's get Heskey on for Gerard.
Gerard for Heskey. Let's go
5-1. You can go straight into... There we go. Take Van der Vaart off for you, Kubu.
Van der Vaart off for you, Kubu.
And drop him back into DM to the right, Vieira. Kelme central, yep. With the arrow, lovely.
I'm glad that we're entertaining you, Alex. If nothing else, I'm glad we're entertaining you. Let's resume the action then. As Ian seems to have disappeared again. It's a little bit too early. Oh, it's free. Oh, no, it won't count. There's still something to play for here.
Not for all of us.
No, just for Haggis and Sancte. How long through the explanation did they disappear again? Free kick to the home side. Jacques, Del Vecchio, another free kick, which Van Nistelrooy wants to take. And there's an injury for Zenden. Casas is a left. So he can go there. Assuming that Ian still isn't around.
Well, the assistant manager is here. You could have let him pick.
Oh, yeah. I forgot. Never mind.
That's right.
I don't care anymore. I leave soon. 3 minutes of injury time. Can Foss earn Sancte that place in the top 6 with an equaliser?
Hopefully not.
Santa Cruz. Zé Roberto. Oh, he's done it! Zé Roberto's equalised.
I've never been so pissed off for scoring.
And Foss Road got the point. Sancte have made the top 6.
You're fucking welcome. You cunt.
What? And you could write it that the hosts of Late Limbs have gone into the last game of the season. And there is Limbs. Look at the Limbs in the chat. Hang on, I can't keep up with them all. Oh wow. You got Duggan laughing, and then celebrating. You got Savage laughing. Duggan is heralding you as something of a god on this holiest of days. Jens just with the lol. Zé Roberto. Still laughing is Duggan. He loves you.
Fuck off, you cunt. I hope you step on Lego, you prick.
We got Limbs chat. Tato say that's class. On Easter Sunday, Sancte rise again. Mr. Edwards wants a redraft.
As long as I get Vieira back, yeah, redraft, fine.
Alex is sending the unicorn up. Funny and disgusting in equal measures, says Dimble. And just shows what you get for not submitting, says Alex. Who's Blackwater Gators? Is that Dan?
It's Kitchen Dan, yeah.
Okay. No idea how I feel about that. I mean, do we care about the match stats?
Not really. No. I give up caring around about, what was it, about 12:30 this afternoon when you told me that Stuart Ripley had been brought up on the reserves. Yeah.
No, Stuart Ripley didn't get called up.
You may as fucking well have.
Ross says Doug would offer you a handy, but it's going to be a while until that's doable.
No, I've got another 2 weeks for that.
And then he's got to do 24 in 12 weeks or something?
Yeah, that's the fucking most ridiculous sentence I've ever heard in my life. From a middle-aged woman, post-vasectomy, said, right, in 16 weeks' time, we're going to give you a little pot through the post. And we're going to need at least 24 offerings before you give us a sample. Where the word offering came from, I'll never know. It's disgusting.
My instant reaction to this was it sounded a lot until you did the maths for me and told me that it was actually only just 2 a week. And I said, oh, okay, no, that's more than doable.
Ridiculous.
I think my actual reply to that is, 2 in a week. I could do 2 in a night.
Oh, look, I finished 1 place higher than last season.
That's the weekend in Edinburgh. That's Smuts. Sessions. Stanley finished 3rd, says Mike. Where are you finding time for that, Smuts? Well, he hasn't got the playoffs to worry about now.
Yeah, exactly. I've got fucking 6 game weeks off.
Ross has been keeping a tally on his phone notes. So the classified results then: East Coast 1, Dudley Hill 0, Exiles 2, Fulchester 0, Haggis 2, Foss Road 2, Sancte 3, LSK 0, Stackington 1, Northern Burn 0, Stanley 2, Sloths 1, and Vikings 1, Badgers 1. Leaves the league table. Oh God, leaves the league table looking like this. Vikings finished top on 17 with a new defensive record. Badgers 2nd, Stanley 3rd. East Coast matched the previous record in 4th. Northern Burn, as expected, finished 5th. And in the 88th minute of the final game of the season, Sancte rise into 6th position. Haggis finished 7th, 2 points outside the playoffs. Exiles 8th, 3 points outside the playoffs. Foss 9, they ended up 4 points away. Dudley and Stackington on 33 points. They were just 5 points away. Sloths in 12th on 31. And then LSK do just about scrape, not finishing bottom as Fulchester take that spot. That means we move into the playoff stages. And for anyone who is new to this, this is how it works. Stanley will play Sancte and East Coast will play Northern Burn. That will be over 2 legs. These 2 games will be on our next stream, which I can't see me fitting in before Thursday. Maybe Wednesday at a push, but I'll say Thursday. And then the second legs will be played alongside the major semi-final, which is Vikings versus Badgers. They too will play over 2 legs. Now, this is where it gets complicated. So if you are new, please listen very carefully. The winner of this fixture over 2 legs will go straight to the grand final. The winners of these games over 2 legs will then play each other over 1 leg. The winner of that game will play the loser of this game over 1 leg to play the winner of this game in the grand final. I hope that's clear enough.
Do you know who's not going to be in any of those games?
Foss Road or Haggis.
Yeah. And do you know who's barely going to be in any of those games? Sancte. Because they're shit.
So we are going with most likely Thursday will be these 2 games. Friday I've got full, so I can't fit it in. Possibly Saturday, but more likely Sunday. Oh, wait, no, it's because it's fucking... I've got a thing this weekend as well, haven't I? I was just talking to you about. Oh. possibly Saturday, but very much more likely Sunday. It will be the second leg of these games and the first leg of this game. And then the following stream will be the second leg alongside the winners of these two games playing each other, and so on and so forth. Smuts, I'm sorry for how it ended. But
wasn't your fault, mate, was it?
But for the wider Super League, don't be... how's the saying go? Don't be sorry.
Don't be sorry you were in the fucking playoff hunt until the last game again. Be sad that it's over. Who gives a fuck?
Oh, yeah, that's it. Don't be sad that it's over. Just be thankful you were there for the ride.
Fuck the ride. Fuck the Super League. And very much fuck Stuart Ripley.
Who had absolutely nothing to do with it at all. It's been an absolute pleasure, Smuts, to have you on comms this evening. It was lovely to have breakfast with you this morning as well.
0 away wins today.
0 away wins, indeed. Until next, Alex asking, who does he support now?
Savage.
Anyone
Mike
but
Savage.
Sanchez.
Mike Savage and the Stanley Massive, who are going to absolutely bend over Duggan like he's just been bent over by Jamie.
Until next time from Super League HQ, good night.
Fuck you all.